Launching the DEATH-COPTER in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
This is an F-67 composite rocket motor, and it's 10 times more powerful than the standard one from Estes rockets. It's so powerful that a while ago I was able to launch a 3D printed rocket past the speed of sound. And so, in this video, I'm going to be building a rocket called a monocopter, which is basically a rocket helicopter, using this insanely powerful rocket motor. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm doing is using FreeCAD to design the main central part of the rocket and print it from my 3D printer. And as you can see, it's a pretty simple part, and you'll see what it's for as we build the rocket. The next step is I'm taking this dowel, and now I have to painstakingly cut it with a hacksaw because my bandsaw and table saw are both not set up right now. And now that I've finally cut out those two 8-inch sections, I can superglue them into the part from earlier. And these will basically act as a balance bar, similar to that of an RC helicopter. For the next step, I can take this very long 29mm rocket engine tube, and I can use some blue masking tape as a guide and just wrap around here. And I can use my hobby knife to make a nice clean cut so that the tube is now only a couple of inches long. And I've just glued it into the monocopter like this. Now, our monocopter is looking pretty good, but it's missing something kind of important, and that is the wing. See, a monocopter usually has a wing on one side that's at an angle so that when it spins around, the wing will produce lift for the rocket to fly into the air. And honestly, I think this piece of plywood is the perfect thing to make a wing out of. But, of course, we need to cut a piece out of it to make the wing. And for that, I'm going to be using my engineering teacher's brand new laser cutter that he just finally got working. And as you can see, we've finished cutting out the wing, and honestly, I think it looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, it's a bit rough, and that's mainly because the laser cutter did not fully complete cutting it out, so I had to use some primitive methods to cut this out and then sand it down so that there's no rough edges. I mean, it is still a bit rough. But anyway, the next step is just to put this on the rocket. Also, I engraved the Rocketry Workshop on here so that if the aliens find this, they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, so I've just tacked the wing on with some super glue. And the next step is going to be reinforcing the wing and everything else with epoxy, and a lot of it. Alright, so now I've reinforced everything with epoxy so it won't come apart during the flight. And I've also added an engine retainer so that the motor will stay in the rocket during the flight. And as you can see, I added this thing to the end which has some clay weight, and I epoxied it in. And basically that just balances it out so that it doesn't come apart when I launch it. And yeah, I think the next step is just to go ahead and launch the rocket. It's totally ready for launch. Alright, we got the monocopter set up on the pad. And the next thing is just to go ahead and launch the rocket. Let's see what happens.
Launching the DEATH-COPTER in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
As you can see, the flight did not go as planned. However, I'm not giving up, and I think I know what happened. So, first of all, the rocket obviously came apart, and I think that's just because it's not strong enough to survive the thrust of the F-67 rocket motor. And at this point, unless I build it out of fiberglass, I don't think that it's possible to fly it using an F-67. So for the next iteration, I think I'll be using maybe an F-20 or something different. The other reason it failed is that it wasn't producing enough lift right off the pad, so it got hung up on the pad and caused the whole thing to topple over and the rocket to go sideways. And as you can see, I was able to salvage the wing, so we can still use that in the next test. Alright, so we got everything set up for our second test. I fully rebuilt the monocopter. We're using an F-20 rocket engine, and we are going to be also using a remote launch system here. So that should be pretty cool, so I can stand further away. The launch pad is definitely different, but it's a lot more durable actually than the normal launch pad I used. It's all staked down and everything, so I'm hoping for a good flight. Let's see what happens.
All right, launching monocopter on a F-20, going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Woo. Okay.
As you can see, the rocket started off perfectly, but a little ways into the flight, the end of the 3D printed part broke off and the wing went somewhere else. That's why it kind of went sideways and started to, not quite work. Good thing is we can rebuild this, and I have another F-20, and we are so close to having a perfect flight. Yo, I found the wing. All right, I'm gonna rebuild this real quick, and we're just gonna do a third test. All right, we got it set up on the pad again. We are ready for another flight. I fully rebuilt it with a carbon fiber infused filament. It's a lot stronger, and hopefully we will get this to work this time. And this is going to be the last test, whether it works or not, because I don't have any more F-20 rocket motors. And yeah.
All right, DEATH-COPTER on an F-20, going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Dang it. Again.
So unfortunately, the exact same thing happened, and it sort of just sheared off right there. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of this project, at least for now, because I don't have any more F-20 rocket motors, and I lost the wing again. But hopefully, this will not be the end of the DEATH-COPTER, and we will just need to find a better way of securing the wing to the thing. And anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.